Hello and welcome to Call the Underwriter. I'm Max Bailey, owner of Call the Underwriter, and this quick video is going to be a quick start to show you the easy multi-step process to send a loan submission to Call the Underwriter for review. So for you investors, you go to the Call the Underwriter website. You'll see this screen where we're at and hover over the Investors tab. And then when you come down, you'll see the CTU note term sheet. You'd go ahead and click that, and that brings you to this term sheet right here that we're looking at. And you'd go ahead and put in your date and your name and company and email and your phone number. And then if you notice this last block on the lower right, it says, did you pre-screen your borrowers? We highly recommend that you pre-screen all your borrowers before taking earnest money or signing a contract. You can click right here and this will take you to the borrower's pre-screening tool. And I'll show you what that looks like real quick. This is a very comprehensive guide that will walk you through really understanding everything about how to qualify your borrower and what kinds of things would render your borrower unable to meet federal requirements. So we talk about how to calculate the PITI and figure out how much income they need to support that. And we talk about calculating debt to income ratio. Not that you have to calculate all this, but it gives you a good basis for understanding how much gross monthly income will be required to support whatever PITI your deal is going to take. We give a few examples. We list 10 questions we recommend that you ask every borrower. These are critical in finding those red flags that would pretty well stop the deal. Some of the other things we show in here is how to understand what kind of loan conditions your borrower is likely to meet based on the demographic that these type of borrowers are in. Things like based on low credit score, being required a verification of rent form. You could ask for that up front. Maybe you anticipate your borrower is not going to have any open lines of credit on when we pull their credit report. If they indicate that when you ask them what we'll find on that report and they say nothing, I don't have any open credit lines, then that's your key to pull out this alternative credit list and ask them if they could provide 12-month payment histories from things on this credit list. If they can't, then if they have zero ability to show that they make any payments to anybody, they're not going to meet requirements. A couple of other loan conditions that might be on here you can look at, and it'll show you what to do for them. And then at the end of it, if your borrower passes this pre-screening, we think you're safe to sign a contract and take an earnest money deposit. We recommend 1,000 or more. That way, if your borrower flakes out midstream, you'll have some security. And then here's this same term sheet we were talking about. This is a link to that term sheet for you to fill out for us at the end of it. And this here would be the online borrower's application that you can give to your borrower as well for them to apply. So we'll get off the pre-screening guide and we'll go back to the term sheet. And so now we're back in this term sheet and you've indicated that you pre-screened your borrower. So then you'd push the next. And that's going to bring you up to the final page on the term sheet. And this is where you're going to give us some info on your borrower's names, emails, and phones. And then you're going to give us some information on the subject property of the deal that we're going to be doing. And then the last bit you give us here is the note information itself. Sale price, interest rate, earnest money, down payment, term in months, original balance, what the loan amount is going to be, what P&I you've calculated that you think it's going to be for them, what is the annual property tax, like last year's tax figure, an estimate on what you think the insurance for this property costs every year. Do you want this escrowed, yes or no? If you want it escrowed and you indicate yes, you might come down here and tell us what the escrow company is and what their monthly service fee is going to be. Title company name and contact, is there HOA fees, is there lot rent, Any other fees that you might know of that we don't, you'd want to indicate them in there. And then down here, same thing, just any other things, maybe you're going to ask me about doing a balloon in 5 years and to remind me that that's you want to talk about that, or maybe you have a question in here about something else, or you say, hey, after you get this, we're debating on making this two separate notes, a first lien of 150,000 and a second lien of 50,000. We'd like your advice on that. Just anything that you want us to know, put it in there. And then the last question is going to be, would you like to sell this note when we're done with this? And if you indicate yes, you'd like to sell this note, then go over here to this blue CTU note selling and click that. And that's going to bring you up to our other website that's for note sales. Here, you're going to put in your contact information and then property address of the note. So this would be the subject property that you want to sell. And same thing, give us this information on it. Go down through here and complete all that. And then at the end of that, you could say the same thing. You could say, please give me a quote on the full note, or you might say, please quote just a partial, or this is going to be two liens, first and second. Please quote the second lien, anything like that, and then push submit. And that sends this right to a note quote pipeline, and we'll get busy analyzing this and work a quote up for you. Okay, so we're going to go back to the term sheet. You got all this done, and you click You're Not a Robot and you submit this. This term sheet will go right to our underwriting pipeline, and it'll fill out the information on you as the lender and the subject property. That will then trigger us to watch for your borrower's applications. And so you can direct your borrower to this website, or you can just give them the application link. But either way, they will fill out an online application. If they come to the website, they'd click the borrower's tab. And then at the bottom of the borrower's tab, there's a submit your application link. And this brings up the 9-part loan application that your borrower will fill out. Now you'll notice we have a direction here that says if you have a co-borrower, they'll need to complete a separate application as well. Many borrowers miss that or they forget it. So please remind your borrowers that if there's going to be more than one borrower, all the co-borrowers have to get on here and fill this out as well. And when that doesn't happen, then we catch it and then have to write them an email and ask them to have their co-borrowers apply, and that can slow down the process. So once we've got your term sheet, and now you've sent your borrowers here and they've done this online loan application, this application, when they push submit at the end of step 9 here, that will send their applications to that same pipeline inbox where we marry up the applications and the borrowers and their income with your terms. Then that causes us to review everything and write an email to both of you. Both lender and borrowers will write a needs list, and that needs list will basically say, thank you for the loan application, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. In order for us to proceed with the review of your income and credit, we'll need the following items. And then we'll list out anything that's missing for us to be able to get going on this. So for instance, maybe in their application, they indicated that they receive child support. So we might say, hey, Mrs. Smith, your application indicated you receive child support, but we didn't see the court order or any proof of you receiving your child support. Please send that as well. And Mr. Smith, you indicated you've been on this job for 2 years. We see your pay stubs, but we don't see a W-2 from last year. Please submit that last year's W-2. We'll send that needs list to both of you, and then we just put this file in a pending status, and we'll wait until we receive that information back. Then once we get those things back, we're going to notify you that we're ready to proceed with the review. We're going to invoice you the $119 processing fee, and then we're going to get busy working this file. And then within a day or two of working this file, we'll have an answer for you. That answer would either be approved or approved with conditions, or once in a while, it'll be that we can't approve the borrower given the terms of the deal. But then when that happens, we'll typically have a range of options for you. Maybe we can't approve them at this loan amount and this interest rate with a 120-month loan. But if you're willing to amortize out to 360, then that would lower the payment enough that your borrower will qualify. So we'll typically come back, if it's not a clean approval, we'll come back with information options, basically, other things you could do that would get this file to pass. So that is how this process works. I hope that this little segment helps you to be able to quickly and easily do a loan submission to Call the Underwriter. And we look forward to seeing your loan submissions, and we wish you all a successful 2023. Thank you.